today I want to talk about some reasons why you sound the same singing everything, okay? And y'all, I get these topics from people that come into my studio, people that I have consultations with, professional level opera singers. They're like, you know, I'm trying to sing this musical theater piece, I'm trying to sing this pop thing, but everything sounds the same. I hear that complaint a lot. So there are several reasons why that's happening, and I want to come to you and talk with you about that today. So the first reason, one reason that is happening, y'all, is because, and I'm looking at my notes, it's because you are disconnected from your speech impulse in your singing. Okay, what do I mean? What I mean is you come from a classical operatic singing background where everything is head dominant. Most of y'all do not speak in your head voice in everyday life. Okay, so when I say you're not connected to your speech impulse, you're not connected to like, hey, you over there. Hey, you over there. If you were just saying that, like, hey, bring me that. If you were going to say, hey, how you doing? Hi, my name is Dion. You're not connected to that, and you have to get back connected with that speech impulse, the speech level singing that a lot of you know about. Seth Riggs made that popular, but it's true. If you're not going to sound classical and you want some variation when you're singing this contemporary music, you got to reconnect to speech impulse. So some of that too, y'all, is a mindset change. Okay, it's a mindset change from being a singer only to being a storyteller. The priority in contemporary singing is that you are a storyteller or a mood setter first, okay? Because every song ain't story, but you got to be able to set that mood. You got to be able to do things with your voice to create an atmosphere, and that's going to involve using your spoken range and other effects, okay? So we want to break that legato habit, okay? Singing everything smooth and connected like we did in bel canto. That is no longer the standard, and it's no longer required for great singing, okay? We want to open our mind to more conversational speaking, which means you got to get into your chest, get into your speaking range. So just a quick example, I said, hey, you over there. So you can start on the C4 just so you can activate this, okay? So, hey, you over there. 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 You see how I'm just speaking? I'm not singing really at all. I'm just kind of intoning. I'm kind of speaking on pitch. I'm not doing, hey, you over there. Hey, you over there. Hey, you over there. I ain't doing all that, y'all. Cut that, okay? For contemporary singing, it's speechy. It's conversational, all right? So the second reason, see, any questions? No questions, okay. So the second reason that you guys are sounding the same is because you default to head voice. You'll hear me say M2, mode 2, thinner vocal cord coordination. You default to that at A4, B flat 4, and B4 at that bridge, that notorious bridge that all sopranos struggle with, most of us, because the heavier sound at that bridge scares you. So let's talk about that. So most of us were taught, like, when we hit this A, B flat B, we have to switch into a lighter mechanism, or we have to start blending in this M2 lighter, thinner fold mix right there. But that's not true. That is an option, but that's not the only option, and you don't have to do that, okay? Typically in pop music, you don't need to do that. You need to stay in that thicker fold coordination, okay, at that bridge. And so an example, here's what y'all do. So I'm going to use the example, oh, I want to dance with somebody. I've been working on this song since last year on and off, and I still ain't mastered it. So I'm still working on it. So Whitney Houston, oh, I want to dance. So I'm going to start on G4. This y'all can do in your chest voice. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. Then take it up. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. Y'all feel that G sharp 4 is kind of feeling a little unstable. And so then you hit A, and it's like, do I shout? Or do I try to do some mixy thing? And usually y'all try to do some mixy thing, and it sounds like this. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. Do y'all hear that don't work? That's a Whitney song, y'all. That's not the right intensity. You have to stay in that thicker fold M1 chest voice coordination. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. Okay, going up, not this. Oh, I want to dance That is an M2 speechy mix where I'm trying to do stuff acoustically to make it sound a little fuller, but it ain't the right intensity. And I know your ears can hear that, and I know your body can feel that. This song is like a standard. It's in our bones. We know what this song is supposed to sound like. So you can't get out there singing in that M2 fake belt thing. No, you have to be in thick folds, M1. So, oh, I want to dance with somebody. And don't be afraid of sounding loud. You're in a thicker fold coordination. The sound waves are bigger. It's going to be more frequency. Don't be afraid of that, okay? So that's some of the psychological work that we have to do, is to break the chains off our mind around sounding loud, around thinking we're harming our voice because we're singing in thicker folds at a bridge, okay? That's some of the stuff we have to undo, because that stuff is not harmful. And being loud is not wrong, okay? All right, good. So that's another reason. Quit defaulting to a lighter mechanism at that A, B flat, B4 bridge, okay? If you want to not sound the same when you're singing everything. Y'all can feel free to drop some questions. I'm just on here chatting. Y'all feel free. This is very informal. Those of you who will catch the replay, please put your questions, put your comments. I'll come back in and check it after the replay is up, okay? All right, another reason why you sound the same singing everything is because you're not adding pharyngeal resonance, particularly between E4 and E5. You're not adding that wah, wah. You're not adding that kind of quality. So your middle voice sounds messy, it sounds breathy, it doesn't sound clear, and it lacks bite and sharpness. Okay, so let's talk about it. So if you've been rocking with me for any amount of time, you know that I talk a lot about pharyngeal resonance. Pharyngeal resonance is a whiny, bratty, twangy sound quality that makes you sound less classical, kind of like in an instant. It shifts your sound very, very fast. It also gets you back into speech impulse, okay? Why? Because it's a primal sound. Everybody, when we were babies, we cried and we made those wah, wah, wah kind of sounds. That's what we want to incorporate into our sound. Now, we don't want it to be isolated like that. We want to blend it and shape it. But you have to have that key component in your tone quality. Otherwise, everything you sing is going to sound head dominant. It's going to sound light. It's not going to sound like speech quality. It's not going to be what you want. Okay? So one way to start opening up that pharyngeal resonance, particularly in the middle voice, typically from E to E, right there. Now, ladies, once y'all get higher, like F, F sharp, G, y'all are fine. Y'all know where to put that sound, but it's in that little messy middle that it's like, how do I shape the throat? How do I do the like, what's going on? So one exercise you can do, I just did it for y'all, so I'll do it again. It's a wah. So you're just imitating a baby cry. Wah, 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 wah. Did you hear that? That was not perfect singing. That was not really singing at all. That was primal sound making. I was just mimicking a baby. That's it. So again, mindset shift. When you're trying this stuff out, don't think about beautiful singing. Let it sound raggedy. Let it sound speaky. Let it sound bratty and obnoxious, okay? That is the doorway into you not sounding classical in everything that you sing, okay? So again, wah, 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 wah. So what's happening is that I'm in a more open timbre in the back of the mouth. What that means is I'm more in a ah. It's a little brighter, more open space in the back versus what we would do in classical. In classical, we would do more of a closed timbre because that's the sound aesthetic for that style. So instead of doing, let me demonstrate. Instead of doing wah, 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 in classical, we would do something like wah, 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 wah. We want everything round and tall and connected. We don't want to hear any breaks, any separation. Okay, y'all are used to that. So what you got to get used to now in contemporary singing is that bright, open timbre quality, okay? And just let it be nasty. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Okay, and notice on the end of those, I didn't bring my head voice down. I let my chest voice start to come up and take where it felt natural to do that. That's not wrong, guys, okay? So instead of doing what you were trained to do classically, wah, 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 bringing head voice down, don't do that. Wah, 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 right here, flip, wah, flip the chest voice, wah. Train your muscles to be able to let that chest voice take. Okay, you don't want to force anything, but let that chest voice naturally take when it wants to, okay, so that you sound more contemporary. You don't sound weird bringing head voice all the way down in your spoken range, okay, because it's not natural. Okay, the next reason you sound the same singing everything is because you're not practicing head to chest voice switch offs, and that's kind of what I just showed you. Wah, 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 switching off. Head, chest, chest. You have to practice switching off. Y'all, that skill is used all throughout commercial music. They do not like just stay in one mode and just auto-playing or autopilot like we do in classical. They don't. They are switching off from heavy chest voice to falsetto to a thinner mix in M1 to some type of speaky M2 mix. To a breathy tone. It's all this moving around, so you have to have control at the vocal cord level. So again, when I'm talking about practicing switching off between head and chest, what's happening anatomically is that you're getting control over shifting your vocal cords from thick to thin, thick to thin. Y'all probably ain't done that in classical singing. I know I went through university academia for 12 years. I was never taught about getting control of my vocal cord muscles to be able to shift from thick folds to thin folds. But in commercial music, you need to have that kind of control because the songs are going to require that skill. Okay, so going back to my Whitney song, I Want to Feel the Heat. So I'll just start right here. I want to feel the heat with somebody. So chest, 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 head, chest. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Take it up. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Take it up again. Now, I'm showing y'all with the song that I am working on. You find a part in songs that you are working on, start it a few half steps lower where it's really comfortable, and then work your way up to the pitch where you have to sing it. That's how you begin practicing this, okay? I think I'm here. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Again. I want to feel the heat with somebody. And you practice switching off from thick to thin, okay? If that feels like too much for you in the beginning, let me check my time, okay. If that feels like too much for you in the beginning, you can just take a single note and alternate. So you could do, let me try So I'm basically doing a yodel. That's what it is. You're going from thick to thin, thick, thin, thick, thin. On again. Get used to feeling your vocal cords shift, okay? It will feel weird. It's going to feel messy. It's not going to feel perfect, and that's the point, okay? So allow yourself to experience that, all right? So that's the fourth reason. And then the fifth reason, the final one that I'll share today as to why you sound the same singing everything, is because your M1 chest voice is trash. I love everybody. Y'all know I love y'all. Mine was trash too, y'all. Our chest voice coming out of academia is weak as I don't know what. Those muscles are basically atrophied, especially ladies, because we do not sing down there. We bring that head voice down. But in pop, commercial music, contemporary music, y'all, especially for women, most of the things that you're singing are chest voice dominant. So you got to get them chest voice coordinations together, okay? You can't bring that head voice down into your spoken range, okay? So what's going to happen when you strengthen your chest voice? You're going to be able to access warmer colors in your voice and in your tone quality so that everything does not sound light and chirpy. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. You trying to sing Elphaba, you trying to sing these musical theater pieces, you trying to sing whatever, and you're mixing, but at the laryngeal level, it's still kind of like this M2 mix, so it's not the right intensity, and overall, like, the stuff just feels too light. And so you're thinking, well, maybe I need to just sing louder. Maybe I need to just push more, air and make it louder. Y'all, that is not the reason for that. The reason your stuff is sounding light and weak is because your chest voice foundation is weak. You have to train your muscles, vocal cord muscles, to engage the full body and cover of those vocal folds down there, okay? That's that vocalis muscle that we learned in vocal pedagogy, okay? They divorced us from the vocalis in classical. Now we got to reclaim that sucker, honey, and re-strengthen it, okay? So you got to rebuild your, I shouldn't have said gots, I'm sorry. Y'all, I told y'all this is informal. This is how I am, okay? But you have to restore strength in your chest voice, okay? Now, I'm not even talking about your belt region of your chest voice. So belt region starts at like G4 and it goes up. I'm not even talking about that. We'll get to that. I am talking about like F sharp 4 and down. That lower part of your chest voice that probably just feels like air and breath and mess. That's what we got to get together, okay? So what I typically do when I'm helping singers with chest voice re-establishment, I will do vocal fry. I'll do vocal fry just so we can get the cords connected, okay? Vocal cord closure, okay? If the cords aren't closing correctly, you're not going to get no sound. The phonation's going to be off. So I'll start there. I'll see what your lowest pitch is. I'll just start on A. So I'll do something like and I will plank, okay? When I'm doing these, I'm imagining that I'm doing a physical plank and I am holding that compression level at the vocal cords. I'm holding that compression level right there and I'm not budging. I'm not slipping off into vibrato or none of that kind of stuff. I am thinking about my vocal cord muscles just holding that position. Then I'll go to the next pitch. B flat. Y'all, this is slow work, but this is how we recover those chest voice muscles because they are usually very, very weak coming from classical. Okay? So, any questions? Hey, Brandy Shoemake, welcome. Any questions, guys? Anything? That's all I have to share. Those, I just gave you 5 reasons why you might be sounding the same in everything that you sing. Okay, let me do a recap. And then if there are no questions, I'm out for today. Okay, so the first reason we talked about is because you're disconnected from your speech impulse in singing. The second reason is because you default switch into a lighter M2 mechanism at A, B, B flat 4 bridge. The third reason is because you're not adding pharyngeal resonance in your middle voice from E4 to E5. The fourth reason that you might sound the same singing everything is because you are not intentionally practicing head voice to chest voice switch offs. And the final reason that I shared is because your M1 chest voice is weak. Okay, those are 5 reasons. So if you sounding the same, singing your stuff, coming from classical, trying to sing contemporary, you noticing everything is sounding the same, you may want to go through this list, write this down, make a note of it, and self-assess. If you want me to assess you, I would be happy to do that, and I do that inside of my Fast Foundation Mixed Belt Masterclasses. These classes are very low paced. They meet 1 time a month. It's a group class, every first Wednesday of the month. It's from 12 to 1:30. So it's a 90-minute live coaching group cohort, okay? I would be happy to have you in there. I can hear you. I can listen to you. I can see what's going on. The rate is ridiculous. It's $69 a month, y'all. That's it. It's $69. Get in one live coaching a month, so it's not a whole lot of time. And then you also get access to my mixed belt training modules and some vocal exercises. It's just a little bonus. The value of this class is the live. So you will want to be there live, okay? Again, every first Wednesday of the month from 12 to 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is 90 minutes of live coaching, helping you to transition from classical to contemporary. So if you are interested in that, I'll drop the link. I don't have it right now. I'll drop the link in the comments so you guys can enroll. Or if you want to ask me questions about it, just shoot me a DM and we can talk about it, okay? All right, our time is up. I hope you guys have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions. Other than that, I will be back soon with another topic. Also, too, drop your questions in the comments. What questions do you guys have about transitioning from classical to contemporary? What are you struggling with? Who are some artists that you're listening to and you're like, I don't know how in the world they're making that sound? I'm happy to do like some live listening things too, which I am going to do, because training your ears, your oral perceptions, that is a huge part of transitioning from classical to contemporary. It's not just reconditioning the voice. Your voice starts right here. It's how you're hearing, okay? So y'all can drop some people that you will want me to do a live analysis on. I'd be happy to do it. Or any other technical questions or storytelling questions, whatever you got. Just drop it down, and then I will come back and talk about them in our lives. All right, y'all have a great day. See you soon. Bye-bye.